Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Real Talk with Saieed Ali. I am your host, Saeed. We do want to thank you for joining us tonight, viewers. Remember, we are live on STVREALTALK Network from 7 to 8 p.m. Monday to Friday. And a rerun the next day from 11:30 a.m. to 12:30 p.m. So, viewers, remember, Real Talk is giving you 4% on fixed deposit at our company. No other financial institution is doing that presently. We are giving you the highest interest paid. We are making your money work for you. Remember that. And with all these extra increase in prices, you all need extra cash. Extra cash. You need that. So remember that, viewers. You have your money put on in a financial institution somewhere and you're not getting 4%. Take it out and bring it to Real Talk. Take it out and bring it to Real Talk. Why? Because it's here. You will see where your money working for you. Remember, viewers, you can become members of Real Talk Credit Union Information. Remember that, remember that, remember that. Also, I'm a licensed money lender, viewers, so you're looking for cash borrow. It's not a problem. It's not a problem. As long as you have some form of security, collateral for we to use. You could use a house, you could use land, you could use a vehicle, you could use gold. As long as you have something for me to hold, we will do business with you. Remember that. So my numbers are on screen, viewers. Feel free to contact our office at any one of these numbers that you will see on screen shortly. Contact our office. We are located at number 14 Carolina Savannah Road in Shogunas. Our business hours are 8:30 a.m. to 4 p.m. Monday to Friday, Saturday, 8:30 to 12 noon. So remember that, viewers. Now, why do I always encourage you to set up a fixed deposit with us? Why? Now, I want to educate you a little bit. You work 20 years for your hard-earned cash and you put it on in a financial institution to get a 1%. To get a 0.025% or a 0.5%. Is that working for you? So you have a lump sum of money put down in a financial institution that is not working for you. It's not. And it's not going to work for you unless you look for a better return on the money that you have in a financial institution just sitting there doing nothing. So we here at Real Talk, when we understand what is taking place in the financial sector, we decided to offer 4% per year. Now you're signing your contract for 5 years. So in that 5 years, let's say you invest 100,000. At the end of 5 years, how much would you get? $20,000 on $100,000. And imagine, this $100,000 is sitting here. And it's working for you. In another financial institution, it's going to sit there and you might get $2,000 at the end of 5 years. Where at Real Talk, you'll be getting $18,000 more. So remember that. Remember that, remember that, remember that. So as we start our program tonight, viewers, Rowley data leaked. Prime Minister Dr. Keith Rowley identification card, his driver's permit number, and his passport number have been found to be compromised in TSTT's data breach. The Excel document also has his date of birth and a PO box address for him as Prime Minister. The Prime Minister is one of hundreds of customers whose data has been posted online following the data breach at a telecommunication company. As of yesterday, the data, which contained 1.2 million names, have been downloaded over 13,000 times from the dark web. The data has names, home address, phone contact, birth certificate, identification cards, number, and more. Yesterday, Public Utility Minister Marvin Gonzalez issued a press statement and mandated that the board of TSTT conduct an independent inquiry into the cyber attack at the company. In the statement, Gonzalez said he is deeply concerned about the recent cyber attack given TSTT importance on the country's telecommunication landscape. He added that TSTT has to make public the facts and findings, as the details do not compromise TSTT customers' confidentiality or further put at risk the integrity of TSTT data or digital infrastructure. So that's the latest update, dear citizens, concerning that. Moving along. UNC calls on government. Why? Why does the UNC call on government? Now listen to this. United National Congress wants the government to tell the country how the suspension of the TT dollar by the Bank of Jamaica is going to affect trade and overall business in this country. So it's the first country in the Caribbean to ban TT dollar. I'll keep that in mind. Cuba South MP Rudy Nadendarosin question if business in Jamaica are planning to reduce their volume of trade with Trinidad and Tobago, and what does this mean for local manufacturers who ship to Jamaica? Caller, good night.
Good night, Mr. Saeed.
Go right ahead, you're live.
Canal going on in the public domain, you know.
Yeah, that's real data.
TSTT, we call it that Marvin Gator. I hope they prosecute him and bring him up in the Privileged Committee for giving a false statement in Parliament, just like Imamu. Remember Imamu is a fellow by the name of gone to the great beard. Kana, the energy minister, who come and say AV drilling 4,000 or 1,000 barrel of oil, and then he blame it on the technocrats and anything, and here do them nothing. Marvin doing the same thing, blaming it on TSC. I hope he fired the board of directors. And you know what he say? He gets song advice from the Prime Minister, during a vaccine vagrant. And you know what that song advice? An investigation led by the KFC man. You go get a KFC report, just like the Stanley report, and they go hide it under the wardrobe. The other thing is, this is a serious thing about this fellow who escaped, you know, the sexual offender. Listen to this. Why they only charge him when during the investigation from 2014 to present, there were 4 police commissioners. Yeah, Stephen Williams, Gary Gifford, Jacob, and Erla. So that investigation has to have been undergone under their purview. So why they use that information to charge the traffic, the man who trafficking, and they are charging the police? It's the same sort of statement they will get. The other thing is, 2 venues going back to Venezuela, they are potential witness. And I'm calling on Young, when he go and meet Delcy and he meets Maduro, to ask them to get back those 2 Venezuelans who are potential witness, to send them to police officers. I ain't playing with this, you know, because you ever hear about a fellow named Budet? And security details this go with high government officials. So them police implicated too. The special branch officers are going to have a nice night.
Thank you, my friend. So, how many of you heard the statement TSCT released? Saying that it's not true. If that is not true, how did 1.2 million personal information were downloaded 13 times? It's sad. So, when you think that's a bacchanal, our dollar have been suspended from being used in Jamaica. The Confederation of Regional Business Chamber also expressed concerns about the move from the Bank of Jamaica and call on the government to hold discussion with Jamaican government in finding a way forward. So what is going to happen? What is going to happen with Trinidadians manufacturing company who do business with Jamaica? They're going to stop shipping, or they're going to find alternative way? I mean, we could hardly find US in Trinidad already. We could hardly get it as a citizen. What's going to happen? Is that a shutdown for those who ship goods from Trinidad to Jamaica? What about those who buy goods from Jamaica to Trinidad? What's going to happen? Is this the start in the Caribbean of stopping our dollar and only asking for US? Is this the start of it? Because if we cannot use TT dollar in Jamaica to exchange currency, which means we will only be using, the only way they're going to deal business with us is if they have US currency. We barely have for ourselves. So what is going to happen? It's not a step up, it's a step down. And also Trinidad and Tobago, while we're on the business topic, listen to this. A couple of weeks ago, when banks decided, I believe it was Republic Bank, when they decided to cut the credit card purchase, or the limit on your credit card by half. I believe that was Republic Bank, eh? Republic Bank, good. Now, that was a couple of weeks back. This is November, December, when businessmen have to restock their business. What is going to happen with the restocking of business now when you only have half the amount of US currency in your account or in your credit card to purchase from suppliers outside Trinidad and Tobago when you're using US? Let me tell you something. You see the end of November and December, we started to feel it as yet, you know. You see, when time to purchase back goods to keep your business running, that's the time you would feel it. That is the time and the only time business places or businessmen and women in Trinidad gonna feel it. On the black market, US is selling over $7.50, $7.60, $7.70. Just now will be $8. And when you can't get US now, US currency, when we cannot get that, whoever have it, their price is going to go up. 9, 10, 11, 12. And what's going to happen to goods now in Trinidad and Tobago? When we pay $10 for US, automatically it's going to go up. So look forward for that in the coming months. So now back to Jamaica. Chairman of the bank, no, my mistake. Chairman of the CRBC, Vivek Charan, stated that now is the time for the Prime Minister and Minister of Finance of both Trinidad and Jamaica to hold a bilateral meeting to discuss this situation and seek an immediate solution to resolve this problem. Let me tell you something. We have a problem just now, you know. Take white telling all you. The CRBC believe that local business owners, in attempting to obtain Forex, are probably using TT dollar to purchase Jamaican dollar at a competitive rate since the currency is in free float. Trade Minister Paula Gopi-Schoon was contacted for a comment. However, the minister said she is currently in China. So what's going to happen there? What's going to happen there, Trinidad and Tobago? If Jamaica stop using our currency, or we cannot purchase from Jamaica, or we cannot buy a Jamaican dollar with our TT dollar, what's going to happen? Tell me. Somebody tell me. 2386716. The bank is no longer trading. Jamaican bank is no longer trading TT dollar in exchange for Jamaican dollar. So Trinidadian now doing business back and forth from Jamaica to Trinidad, Trinidad to Jamaica, we will automatically now need US dollar to purchase Jamaican dollar. Is it the start of a stepping down? Ask yourself. Right? So viewers, we are going for a short commercial break, but before we go for this break, you know we have friends of Real Talk we need to put up. We are with friends. Narissa, how you going, darling? A big shout out to you tonight. I tell you, Narissa, I come in to empty your house. I come in to empty your house. You fail to drop my money. You fail to bring your car. You understand? Which you use as collateral. You fail to do that. I come in to empty your house. I'm telling you what I'm going to do. But the thing is, I ain't telling you when I'm going to do it. That is what I ain't telling you. I ain't telling you when I'm going to do it. But you'll be surprised. You'll be surprised when I show up by your house with a truck. Me and the lorry man and them eating snacks coming down the road, you know. I'm telling you, when we empty the parlor, you hold your head and ball. Because one thing I can promise you on national television, when you restock back the parlor and you refurbish your house, as the word come to my ear, I come back in your house. I come back in your house until you give me my money. So viewers, we are going for a short commercial break. But we're going to talk about TNT first, convicted human trafficker. After this.
Namaste Aud Sitaram. On behalf of Real Talk Group of Companies, we wish to extend to the Hindu community a happy and holy Diwali. May the divine light guide you through your way out of every streak of trials in your life, and may Mother Lakshmi shower her richest blessings on each and every one. Shubh Diwali from the Real Talk Group of Companies.
Tired of wasting precious time at the bank applying for a loan, only to be denied? We understand your frustration. Here at Real Talk Group of Companies, we take a different approach. Contact Saieed, Managing Director of Real Talk Group of Companies and licensed moneylender at 238-6716, 242-7690 or 339-1670. Feel free to visit our office at number 14 Carney Savannah Road, Chaguanas, or number 132 Superior Road, Victoria Village, San Fernando.
Do you have a public concern you would like to highlight? You can email your pictures and videos to realpublicconcerns@gmail.com, and we will highlight your concerns on our show for Public Concerns Wednesday. Real Talk Credit Union information stores are now open to members of the public. We are located at the Real Talk Group of Companies building at number 14 Carney Savannah Main Road. Opening hours are from 8:30 a.m. to 4:30 p.m. Contact us via telephone at 238-6716 or 231-6219 to book your appointment. You can also stay connected with us via Facebook.
Welcome back to Real Talk, viewers. Remember, we are offering you 4% on fixed deposit, viewers. You can't miss out. The biggest interest rate you're going to get in Trinidad and Tobago concerning fixed deposits is at Real Talk. Remember that. Despite successful achievements, the first ever convicted under the country's human trafficking law, the perpetrator broke free of his electronic monitoring bracelet and is now on the run. What do you think about that, Trinidad and Tobago? The first ever human trafficking person to be convicted in Trinidad and Tobago is now on the run. At a media conference, National Security Minister Fitzgerald Hines stated that Anthony Smith was convicted of 5 counts of human trafficking under the Trafficking in Person Act, which became law in 2012. Smith, a local bar owner, was arrested in 2015 after he was accused of forcing a then 16-year-old Trinidad girl to commit act of prostitution. After she responded to a newspaper and seeking employment, she was also charged with the sexual and physical assault of the victim. Hines referenced that the girl was of low economic status and the child of a single parent household. Listen to this.
Based on information available to me, the victim was of low economic status. The victim was child of a single parent household. And I say this because there are so many people of that experience who, perhaps for those reasons and more, can be vulnerable to the urgings of people like Anthony Smith.
Kola, good night.
President, good night, my lord. How are you going?
Hey, Prem, how are you going?
Well, this is the week for Diwali coming, and I want to wish everybody happy Diwali is coming on Sunday, and everybody fasting till that Diwali day. I have some crew listening to you right now. Let me call the areas that they listen and watching your show, right? Lopino, Santa Cruz, Valsin, and the landfill at Tunapona. I have a crew listening to you right now, and he ain't you right now and listening to your program, brother.
Thank you, my friend.
But wait, I have to give you a passion while I'm going to sing the Naga. Let me get a little piece. Oh,
thank you, my friend. Thank you. Hey, Prem, I'm coming on for Diwali, you know. Set your table, you know. Good. So now, viewers, meanwhile, woman police corporal Dane Marshall explained that Smith was charged by herself in January 2016 and in June 2017 and was committed. Now, she stated that he appeared in court a few days before making a decision to change his attorney. However, subsequently to the change of attorney, Smith did not appear. Listen to this.
Anthony Smith was charged by myself in January 2016, my apologies. And as the minister indicated, we went through a process of a preliminary inquiry, which ended, and he was committed in June of 2017. In the process of a committal, we now wait for a date to be heard in the High Court. And that date commenced, that date that we got was September 18th, 2023. So the trial commenced at that point, and he appeared in the court, not just one day, but a few days, up until the point that he made a decision to change his attorneys, as Minister described. Subsequent to the change of attorney, he did not appear. So he absconded while the trial had already commenced.
This is what I don't understand. Despite not having a body to put in jail, Hines heralded that the case as a victory in the country fight against human trafficking, added that he fully expects that Smith will be found. What y'all think about that now? The first person to be convicted of human trafficking in Trinidad and Tobago is on the run. Is on the run. And Hines, my fellow Trimbagonian, Hines, herald victory. Victory of what? You have nobody to put in jail, but you have a victory. Does that make sense? Does that make sense, Trinidad and Tobago? This is how those ministers in Trinidad, they celebrate. The first ever to be convicted of human trafficking. That person is on the run. On the run. So I want to ask you, Trinidad and Tobago, knowing this man is on the run in Trinidad and Tobago, now, keep this in mind, eh? Venezuelans come to Trinidad illegally through our extended ports of entry, and they live here. Do you think this man is going to stay in Trinidad and Tobago? Willfully knowing that he could spend the rest of his life behind bars in Trinidad and Tobago, do you think he would stay? Let me tell you something. The first boat leaving Trinidad and Tobago illegally, I would have been on that boat out of this country. They're quite telling all you. Me asking you, and I'm telling you. Is it just how Venezuelans could leave their country and come into our country and live comfortable? Illegally? That would have been me in a different country. They're quite telling all you. But this Minister Hines, he is celebrating. Celebrating the victory of the first human trafficking person to be convicted. But they don't have a body to put. Imagine, somebody get murdered. Somebody get murdered. Normally you need a body in order to keep a funeral. Would you keep a funeral without a body? Would you celebrate your birthday without a birthday cake? Come on, Trinidad and Tobago, be real. Be real. Would you celebrate owning a vehicle and you don't have it? Fitzgerald Hines is celebrating the first person to be convicted for human trafficking in Trinidad and Tobago, but don't have a body to put in the jail. You call that production. Let me tell you something. That minister he should have taken some vacation from that post just by making those statements. Despite not having a body to put in jail, Hines still hurled. He heralded the case as a victory in the country's first human trafficker to be convicted. But they don't have a body, but they're celebrating. Are we going forward or are we going backward? Caller, good night.
A very, very, very good evening to you, Mr. Saieed.
To you, my friend. What do you think about this statement by our Minister of Finance? Not Minister of Finance, Minister of National Security.
Okay, so what he's celebrating, he's not the one who's supposed to be celebrating. The person supposed to be celebrating that he outsmarted the authorities.
Correct.
He's celebrating right now. But remember the time when they had intel about all the human traffickers and the boat numbers and the house, and they had all information, and only one person only was able to convict, and he outsmart all the on top of that. Good going, man. Good going. All the best.
Thank you, my friend. Hey, yeah, that's not as real sad, you know. This really, really, really sad, you know. I cannot believe that. Serious, I cannot believe that. He stated, Hines, that in the coming days, there will be publication inviting the public to assist in finding Anthony Smith. Also, Hines noted that he did not see Smith escape as stain on their efforts. As he said, the system worked particularly well. And when Smith is arrested, he will be taken to a place that has been provided for him for the next 15 years. So listen, David.
So the court issued warrants for his arrest after his conviction yesterday, and the Trinidad and Tobago Police Service and all arms of law enforcement are now mandated to find him wherever he might be in Trinidad and Tobago, in this region or the world, so that he will pay the price that he must for the grievous crimes that he was convicted of yesterday. So, within the next few hours and days, you will see publications inviting the public to assist us in finding Anthony Smith in the circumstance. The matter of his absconding leaves no stain on the system. The system worked particularly well. The rules of the court permitted in the circumstances as the judge found it that the trial be pursued in absentia from the time of his absconding. So it puts nothing, no stain on the system. A warrant has been issued for his arrest. When he's arrested, if and when he's arrested, he'll be taken to a place that has been provided for him for the next 15 years.
Hello?
Hello?
Go right ahead, you're live.
Oh, good night, Mr. Saieed. Great program as usual, Mr. Saieed.
Thank you.
Keep up the great work. But Hines and that notorious gang he is part of, they all should hang their head in shame and disgrace.
Correct.
They have this country where we are today, Mr. Saieed, and the citizens of this country, they have this country in a lawless state. Nobody have respect for anyone in this country. When you look at the bars, I could talk about the Naparima Mayaro Road. Every bar you go to, there are migrants working at that bar. You telling me law enforcement don't know? The parking now on both sides of the road. This is lawlessness at its worst, and nothing is being done. Who is the Minister of National Security? You? Me? No. Hines and that gang of people, lawless people, they who are encouraging lawlessness in this society, they're not doing anything, so they should all hang their head in shame and disgrace. When you go to this bar, you say, boy, I feel safe, you know. Here they tell you, no, it's a police running this by, you know. And you see them two fellas sitting down there, they're a police officer, you know. I'm police officer. So that's where we are today. Heinz, if you don't know, listen to Real Talk and you will get it real. Mr. Said, you keep up big great work. God bless you and your staff.
Thank you, my friend. So viewers, we're going for a short commercial break. But when we come back, let me talk a little bit about the stain that Heinz say that we did not leave on the system after this.
Namaste Sitaram. On behalf of Real Talk Group of Companies, we wish to extend to the Hindu community a happy and holy Diwali. May the divine light guide you through your way out of every streak of trials in your life, and may Mother Lakshmi shower her richest blessings on each and every one. Shubh Diwali from the Real Talk Group of Companies.
Tired of wasting precious time at the bank applying for a loan, only to be denied? We understand your frustration. Here at Real Talk Group of Companies, we take a different approach. Contact Saieed, Managing Director of Real Talk Group of Companies and licensed moneylender at 238-6716, 242-7690 or 339-1670. Feel free to visit our office at number 14 Carney Savannah Road, Chaguanas, or number 132 Superior Road, Victoria Village, San Fernando.
Do you have a public concern you would like to highlight? You can email your pictures and videos to realpublicconcerns@gmail.com, and we will highlight your concerns on our show for Public Concerns Wednesday. Real Talk Credit Union information stores are now open to members of the public. We are located at the Real Talk Group of Companies building at number 14 Crony Savannah Main Road. Opening hours are from 8:30 a.m. to 4:30 p.m. Contact us via telephone at 238-6716 or 231-6219 to book your appointment. You can also stay connected with us via Facebook.
So Trinidad and Tobago. Heinz also noted that he did not see Smith escape as a stain on the effort, as he said the system worked. Heinz, the courthouse in Trinidad and Tobago is working. The officers attending to the courthouse is working. Prisoner is going to the court and getting sentenced, it's working. How could you say, Heinz, in a public media briefing, that it puts no stain on the system? Heinz, we're talking about a human trafficker. We're not talking about an individual who steals somebody's car. We're not talking about a purse snatcher on the promenade. We're not talking about that. We are talking about someone who forces somebody. Somebody who sells people. We're talking about a human trafficker here. And you say that is not a problem? Let me tell you something, Heinz. The minute you made a statement and it went public, you embarrassed us. How many police officers were guarding this individual? How many? The electronic bracelet that he had on, Mr. Hines, how easy was it for him to take it off? I'm asking questions. How easy was it for him to take it off? Which means any individual who have a bracelet for monitoring purpose, or any criminal who has a bracelet on his ankle for monitoring purpose, they can take it out. So which means that system is not working. Am I right, Hines? So that now by itself put a stain on the security system. How many officers were guarding this individual? We're talking about a human trafficker. We're talking about an individual who sells human beings. Come now, Hines, say something. You know I just think it up. We, as Trinidadians, we understand the court system working. But what we don't understand is how this human trafficker could escape. How come? And look who, the very first person to be convicted. He got away. Could you tell Trinidad and Tobago, Mr. Hines, how the individual got away? Or that will be an embarrassment to you and to the TPS officers. I don't know, I'm asking. Where was this individual being held at that point in time in order for him to make good on his escape? Hey, Hines, hold up, boy. Let me tell you something. There are things that you come on the media and talk, and there are things that you do not talk in the media, Hines. I want you to understand that. So viewers, we have a little topic that we're going to talk about tonight. Drop the sign. Zoom up on it. Okay, zoom up. Yes. Hold on, viewers. So I want to ask you, the citizen of Trinidad and Tobago, what is local traffic? What is local traffic? I want to ask all of that. I want somebody calling 2386716 and tell me what is local traffic. Could somebody explain this sign for me? Could somebody explain this sign for me? No. Someone got a ticket because the officer could not explain to the individual what is local traffic. If you see a sign like this on the road or on a junction, how would you explain this sign as a police officer? What is local traffic? Caller, good night.
Hello, good night.
Go right ahead.
Yeah, I don't know, local traffic has to do with maybe in their mind, probably the people living there, but all seem to be local traffic. I don't know what to put there. I don't know what to put there on the street. Local traffic happens to be the people living there. I don't know what they're doing there. I don't know.
So which means more or less you don't understand what local traffic is. Thank you, my friend. Could somebody explain to me what is local traffic? Because an individual got a ticket for this sign. And it's a $1,000 ticket. Get the ticket ready? $1,000 ticket. Because the police officer couldn't explain to the individual what is local traffic. $1,000 ticket. The police officer told the individual, you broke or you breached the sign. Could somebody explain that? You see, I don't know what local traffic means. So I want to hear tonight from you, the citizens of Trinidad and Tobago, what is local traffic? Anybody could explain that? And this sign wasn't placed in a residential area. You see? It's not a residential area. So what is local traffic? Could somebody call in somebody say something? Nobody in Trinidad could understand, could explain to me what is local traffic, because somebody got a ticket to pay for $1,000 and all the police officer said is that you breached the sign. How in God's name am I going to breach a sign stating local traffic? And this sign was not placed in a residential area. Call her good night.
Good night, Mr. Said.
Go right ahead.
The interpretation of that sign, no left turn, meaning that the local traffic is for residents of that street or that street there.
Caller, the sign was not placed in a residential area to start with. That's number one.
Right. Well, then that individual who got the ticket, he should be smiling. I will take them to court because that is very idiotic. And we all know the kind of idiots we have in the service. Putting on a uniform doesn't change an idiot from being an idiot. So, take them to court. That's what he have to do. Keep up the great work, Mr. Said.
Thank you, my friend. What is local traffic? In other terms, in Trinidad and Tobago. Somebody say something, Naman. Somebody say something. What is local traffic? Do we have foreign traffic in Trinidad? I don't know. I chop it, you know. I chop it. I real chop it. Do we have foreign traffic in Trinidad? Somebody say something. I want to hear somebody say something tonight about this. Caller, good night.
Very good evening again to you, Mr. Said.
To you, my friend.
Yes, so the guy who just spoke, he is totally correct. Local traffic means that if you swing left on a road or right on a road, and they say only local traffic means that it is residents they're talking about.
The sign, no caller, the thing is, the sign was not placed in a residential area. That is the thing.
Well, then something is very wrong with that sign.
This sign was not placed in a residential area.
Okay, side, so...
Thank you, my friend. Thank you, my friend. You see, if I see this sign in a residential area, I will understand is that just the people living in that area, no outside traffic would pass in. A taxi will pass in or a goods vehicle dropping something, right? But to tell me, no local traffic and the sign not in a residential area. Abandoned house. Do you see? One abandoned house on that street, but they put up a sign. So what is local traffic? All the officer said is that you breached the sign. Caller, we have a call? Local traffic. Somebody explain that. Somebody explain that. Nobody can say nothing? Nobody who works in a license department? No, not even a police officer could call to explain that? It's sad, boy. It's sad. The officer who wrote the ticket just told them you breached the sign. How do I breach the sign? How did I breach the sign? Officer, explain to me how I breached the sign. Officer can't explain. And wrote a $1,000 ticket and gave it to the individual. So now we have officers now who cannot explain a sign. Let's say something, Trinidad and Tobago. Say something. It's sad, yes, it's sad. It's really, really sad. Not even a police officer. Caller, good night.
Yes, right, good night.
My friend, go right ahead.
Saeed, if you're looking at this sign, right, and you're driving your car, what is the interpretation you get?
The sign says no left turn.
Right. And they say for local traffic, right? Except maxis and goods vehicle, right? So that sign explains itself there. No local traffic turning, no normal peak car and them kind of thing, only maxis and goods truck.
Well, so they
it's
say.
As simple as that.
So they say.
Read the sign, that would the sign telling you as well. Only maxis and goods truck can make you left turn.
Explain to me what is local traffic.
Well, I really can't explain what is local traffic, but I explain what the sign means. Anyway, you enjoy your night, sir.
Thank you, my friend. Somebody explain what is local traffic. We understand there's only taxis and goods vehicle. Do we have foreign traffic in Trinidad? What is local traffic? I want a police or somebody from licensing department to call in and explain this sign. This costs an individual $1,000 today. And the bloody hell police who wrote the ticket couldn't explain to the individual what is local traffic. That is the sad, stinking part about it. Somebody say something now. Watch me now. I have to. We could talk, you know. We could talk, you know. But I'm looking for a police officer or I'm looking for a license officer tonight or somebody working license office to call in to explain to us, the citizens of Trinidad and Tobago, local traffic. Nobody? No policeman? No license officers? Nobody could explain to me on air what is local traffic? We understand the no left turn. We understand there's only taxi and goods vehicle. Is it that it is okay for a plane coming from Barbados to pass through that street? Is it okay for a speedboat coming from Jamaica to pass on that street? Somebody make it make sense. Make it make sense to me. Put back up the ticket. Put the ticket. $1,000 was given to an individual. And the police could not explain. Let me break it down for you. Come back to me. A Trinidadian driver was passing on the street. A Trinidadian police stopped him and gave him a Trinidadian ticket for $1,000 and could not explain to the Trinidadian driver, while the Trinidadian police giving the Trinidadian driver a ticket for $1,000 could not explain to the Trinidadian driver what does local traffic mean. I couldn't break it down more simple than that. So if the police officer now couldn't explain, if the Trinidadian police officer couldn't explain to the Trinidadian driver how the mother in hell we go in to facing the magistrate now, to tell the Trinidadian magistrate now, we are know nothing about local traffic. $1,000. All the police said, you breached the sign. Officer, explain to me what is local traffic, please. And then issue a ticket for me. Somebody say something now, man. If I talking nonsense, let me tell you something. If I talking nonsense, call me and tell me I talking nonsense. But when you tell me now I talking nonsense, I want you to explain to me the meaning of local traffic. Now that is a sign placed on a street in Trinidad and Tobago, and it's not a residential area. Somebody, all make me look stupid. I've given earlier the opportunity tonight to make Saieed, a man who's speaking in 7 different languages, a man who has business, local, regional, and international, all calling and make me look stupid. Do that. Make me look dotish. Make me look like I don't know what I'm talking about. I've given all the opportunity. How much minutes we have again before the show finish? 2 minutes? Yeah, 2 minutes to call in. Make me look stupid. Because I want to know if all I get a ticket and the ticket state the same thing, how will I go and explain to the magistrate? Or how the police go and explain to the magistrate what is local traffic? Nobody can say nothing. So if all I get a ticket now, with that sign mark, breach the sign, well, what are I going to explain? Somebody tell me something now, man. Let all our in Trinidad, I look like idiot now. Somebody say something. So technically now, the public who is viewing do not understand the meaning of local traffic. We understand the no left turn. We understand the taxi. We understand the goods. But we do not understand the term local traffic. So, let me tell you something. When the individual going to court, I going with him now. I tell him earlier, I going with the man. I want the police to explain to the magistrate what is local traffic. Let me see if that Trinidadian police who gave the guy a ticket in Trinidad. The drivers are Trinidadian, the police are Trinidadian, the magistrate go be a Trinidadian. Explain to the magistrate what is local traffic. I come in that day. They're quite telling all there. Let me tell you something. All the officers simply had to say, boss man, here what's going on? I don't know the meaning of local traffic, so therefore I cannot give you a ticket stating local traffic. And give the man a blind. Officer, you go your way and let the man go his way. I want to see you explain local traffic to the magistrate. And let me laugh at you inside the courthouse. Nevertheless, viewers, we are out of time for tonight. I will run up this program tomorrow from 11:30 a.m. to 12:30 p.m. viewers. And remember, Real Talk, we offer you 4% and fixed deposit. It's the highest interest rate that is being paid in Trinidad and Tobago. Until we meet again, good night.